energy can be two things. It could be a magnet or it can be a repellent. So many of you are repelling opportunities. We are going to be covering such an amazing topic today because I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to become the most confident woman in a room filled with multi-millionaires. So this is a lot of gems and knowledge I would usually charge, but I've been feeling a little bit generous and I do want to give back to the viewers. So I will be showing you exactly how you can transform your confidence and become the most, thank you, magnetic woman in any room you walk into, particularly multi-millionaire networking events. Welcome everybody. Let's start tapping the screen. One of the main things that so many of you ask and you say to me is, I try to go to events. I try to surround myself with more affluence. I really do try to go out my comfort way, right? I try to get out my comfort zone and network with new people and meet new individuals. But whenever I am in spaces that elude more affluence, I start to become anxious. And this is something that is really worth addressing in today's live stream. If you find yourself becoming a shell of a person when you are attending these networking events, it could be Monaco yacht shows, it could be film festivals, it could be members club events, and you find yourself really becoming really anxious, almost losing your sense of confidence, that's because you do not have the correct identity shift and you are not aura maxing, meaning the spaces are owning your energy as opposed to you owning the energy in the spaces you dominate. And this is something I really want to talk about today because so many of you ask me, how do you do it? How are you so confident? How do you draw this beautiful magnetism to you? How have you transformed into the woman that just gets everything she wants? She turns heads in all the rooms. She can network. She gets the greatest opportunities because I've shifted my identity and my mindset before joining these events, okay? Every single time you go somewhere, you have to be calm, collected, and confident. If your energy gives off any form of anxiety, you are going to lose. And other people, especially multi-million men, are not going to be drawn to you. The reason is because your energy can be two things. It could be a magnet or it can be a repellent. So many of you are repelling opportunities. You are repelling high value men. You are super worried about what other people think of you. And when you go to a really nice space, instead of being in your beautiful magnetic feminine energy, you are like this. You are a shell of a person and you don't really want to be there. And another thing we're going to be discussing is texting etiquette, social etiquette, and also communication etiquette because it's so important. Every single time you go to an event, you need to own the space. Meaning, one thing I do not want to see, if I had a phone for demonstration, I would show you. You being on your phone like this, pretend this is a phone, anxiously, right? Every single time you are anxious and you are trying to distract and fiddle with things, you are going to fail at attracting dates, at attracting opportunities, at attracting princess treatments in these affluent social settings because your energy is giving you away long before you try to fake it till you make it. I need you to really master posture, meaning we are going to relax in our space. Right now, I am very relaxed in the space that I am. I own the space. This is my territory. And one of the things I always like to imagine is really, how can I be as open and calm and receptive as possible. You want to really try to open your chest space, because so many of you, when you are in deep anxiety, this region of your chest starts to get very tight, meaning your vocal cords are going to give you away. Your vocal cords. You are going to speak super fast. You are going to be sweating. You are going to be fiddling with your hands, and it makes it very unattractive, right? You are not going to be the center of attention from a standpoint of such severe anxiety and guilt and shame and fear. Step number one, we are going to work on our posture. We are going to take a deep breath in every single time we attend a high value event. This could be, like I said, a charity gala. This could be a yacht show. This could be a film festival. This could be a private members club. I need you to take a deep breath in, okay? Take a deep breath in, and the way I want you to speak is from a standpoint of confidence and relaxation. If anything about your tone of voice screams hurry, anxiety, nervousness, you are in an energy of lack straight away, and you've already lost all opportunities to having multi-millionaire men at your table. Okay, you've lost the shot. I need you to be relaxed. I need you to also start relaxing your shoulders. I also need you to start practicing breathing in and out. There is nothing to be anxious and afraid about. Every single time we enter spaces of social affluence and elegance and wealth and class, we have to be relaxed because you belong there, okay? That's the mindset I want you to have. I belong here. The reason you're so jittery and anxious is because you don't feel like you belong there, okay? So you sabotage all opportunities, all people approaching you, and all good things because you don't feel like you belong. Second step, thank you so much, darling. I want you to wear a fragrance that makes you feel like that girl. Okay, sensory experiences are very important because they help you picture yourself in your highest identity, your most chosen self. I want you to start wearing a fragrance that really screams seduction, magnetism, fun, and confidence. And when you spray this perfume, I want you to really, like an actor, right? We've all heard about method acting, but we are going to take this one step deeper at a subconscious identity shift and really embody the new version of ourselves that attracts all opportunities. I need you to get into the embodiment of the version of you that is used to going on dates with multimillionaires, that is used to being courted by multimillionaires, that is used to receiving attention. I need you to think, what does that version of me look like? How does she sit like? How does she talk like? And how does she own the room she walks into? Okay? When you step foot into a room, you should have the ability to draw all attention from all corners of that room, meaning you own the space energetically. And I do this really well. Perhaps we can actually get a video for you guys on a demonstration on how I do it. But the key steps, like I said, shoulders back, open up the heart space, keep your head nice and up, and really start to walk like you're owning this runway. A lot of you are going to feel silly. If you're going to feel silly, there's no point in attending multi-millionaire networking events. There's no point in attending high affluent circles if you're going to feel silly. Okay, you have to move past the fear of looking silly, because right now this is about you and your metamorphosis. And there's a difference between a woman that doesn't feel good enough to be in a high value affluent space and a woman that trains her mind to believe she deserves to be there and she deserves every ounce of good attention. All the right eyes are on her. All the right people are attracted to her. She's being asked on dates. She's networking. All the right opportunities are aligning because you feel like you deserve to be there. Okay, it's so, so, so important. If you're experiencing, thank you so much, Aphrodite, any form of intrusive thoughts that tell you you shouldn't be there, you're not good enough, I need you to self-regulate before going to these events. And we're going to talk about the power of nervous system regulation because it's going to be your tool to dismantling anxious energy. Every single time you are anxious and you are afraid to be the center of attention, right? You are doing this because your parasympathetic nervous system is not relaxed. It's not relaxed enough and it's basically going off in its alarm bell. So that's really what's happening to you. You have to regulate before going to high value events, high networking events, meaning 10 minutes of meditation just before you are getting ready to really help you step into the embodiment and identity of the version of you that magnetizes everything and everyone to her. You can do various nervous system, thank you so much, exercises. You can start with box breathing, which is really easy. It's a very, very good exercise to do before an event because it really helps center and ground you. Or you can do self-talk rampages or meditation. And what this is going to do is it's going to take your nervous system from a prediction of failure. Remember, you're anxious, you don't feel like you belong there. And it's going to take you from that negative prediction into a positive assumption. Meaning, right, once you are in this positive assumption, you are going to be in the embodiment of that version of you who has and draws in all the experiences she desires. Another thing we're going to talk about is etiquette because it's really important, and a lot of you ladies unfortunately ruin these opportunities for yourselves, and I'll tell you how. If you are someone who tries to ease their stress by drinking or by talking too much or by overly explaining yourself or by asking too many questions, you are going to ruin your social presence, okay? Because first impressions are very important at these events. You are going to ruin it for yourself. You have to learn how to handle any form of self-doubt and social anxiety in a very different way. Meaning, if you are someone who needs a couple of glasses of Prosecco to settle down and feel more confident at events, I would advise very strongly not to drink. Okay, very, very important. We do not need anything outside of ourselves to center and to ground us. Another thing that's important, I want you to put your phone away, okay? And the reason I want you to put your phone away is because texting etiquette is very important, and so is dining etiquette. And so many of you use your cell phone as a way to escape or as a way to pretend you are busy when you're not. And it looks very distasteful, it looks very tacky, and it looks very diselegant, extremely. When you are on your phone because there's no one at your table, you are signaling an energy of doubt and fear because you cannot confidently relax, sip your beautiful drink, and just enjoy the scenery. You cannot relax yourself into starting a conversation with someone else. So you need to hide your anxiety behind your phone. And I strongly advise you to put your phone away unless you are being asked on dates, unless, people are asking for your number, unless you are being, courted in a different way, where someone is wanting to get to know you and get a hold of you a day after this event. You shouldn't be on your cell phone when you are attending these gorgeous events. You should really be socializing with people around you. And a lot of you say, I find it so difficult to start a conversation. Yes, because you're not very confident. When you are not very confident, you are waiting for people to start conversations with you. Okay? You are waiting for other individuals to start conversations with you. However, this is the thing. You're waiting for them to be drawn to you, but your energy is a repellent, meaning no one is going to want to start a conversation with you. And you're going to once again feel like you wasted so much money on this event. You got no dates. No one's asked you out. No one's complimented you. And you feel beyond invisible. And then you're going to say to me, I hate events. Like, they're just so hard. They're not hard. You don't know how to carry yourself. Any event I go to, I block all outside noise. It's all about me. And that's what I want you to start doing. Block outside noise and make it all about you. Okay? If you're going to be attending the Monaco yacht shows, right? F1, for example. I'm going to give you an example. You shouldn't be on a yacht anxious. That's not how you carry yourself, okay? And so many women say, well, what am I supposed to do? There's so many people around me. You are supposed to start conversation in elegant ways. Thank you so much. In elegant ways that are not desperate. And the one I hate so much, because so many dating coaches teach you this, is what's the time, really? Are we not going to think of something less annoying than what's the time? You know what the time is, because you know when the event started. Stop asking people what the time is. Instead, really start asking people, so what brings you here? How gorgeous is that? You've got a beautiful drink in your hand. I've got water right now. So what brings you here? Hello. What brings you here? What is so wrong and scary about socializing and starting a conversation? And I'll tell you, as a man, when a woman says, hello, so what brings you here? You give him the opportunity to talk about himself, to talk about his business, to talk about his wealth. And you get to make notes. You're literally auditioning him by asking him one simple question. And the entire evening, this man is going to think, oh, what an amazing woman. Because instead of you yapping at him, he got a chance to talk about himself, which is part of the courting process, okay? When you go to these events, it should be less you talking at people and more asking questions and auditioning, okay? I've seen so many different mentors teach this in so many different ways, and my method is the best. Human beings, in male psychology especially, men like to be asked questions and they like to talk. Okay, one question is enough, and allow him to talk for 10 to 15 minutes until the conversation reverts back at you. What you shouldn't be doing is giving people this anxious talk because you are trying to fill the space. That's rule number 2 at these events. We do not fill the space. If the conversation starts to slow down naturally, right? You've asked someone, what brings you here? And, oh, I own the yacht. Oh, I own the race courses. And I own all the buildings you're seeing. And let's say the conversation starts to go a little bit flat, a little bit mundane. What you're not going to do is turn around and say, what's your favorite color? Oh, I really like your shirt. Ladies, so many of you make these mistakes because you think it's, thank you, because you think it's complimentative. No, it's absolutely vile. You look anxious. If the conversation gets flat, you don't try to fill the silence. You don't do that. You take a beautiful sip of your drink. You look around you. You take a deep breath in. If he's not going to carry the conversation on, it's been lovely getting to know you. I hope to see you around. And then you start your next person that you socialize and talk to. I don't understand why so many of you go to events and you get stuck on one person and you try to talk to them for the entire night. And this man can feel your needy energy. Millionaires can feel needy energy. And you're basically sat there like a little hamster asking him a million questions and he's kind of trying to flick you away. That's not what you're going to do. When there is silence, you allow the gap to fill itself. You allow the masculine to fill the gap, okay? It's so important. And another thing, the way you dress and the way you speak at these events is going to be your golden ticket. I don't want to see any of you wearing things that are too loose or too tight because you're not going to be comfortable. It's so important. Whenever you are wearing something that is too baggy, you're not going to feel very comfortable or feminine. And whenever you're wearing something too tight, you're not going to be able to breathe, okay? I need you to find clothes that complement you in a way that makes you look elegant. Elegant. And it doesn't mean you cannot wear bodycon dresses. You can. Just make sure they are elegantly styled and they are not too tight. Another thing that's really important is the way you speak, your tone of voice. I took voice coaching lessons many years ago, which is why so many of you compliment the way I speak. It was the biggest investment in my life, the best thing I ever did. The best thing I ever did. I will do it all over again. It got me in so many rooms I wouldn't have even dreamed of being in because I mastered the way to speak and read people. So I'm going to teach you something that's very valuable. When you speak, you need to find your seductive tone, okay? Is that a high pitch? Is that a low pitch for you? And you need to find your rhythm. So important. You can see certain words, I say them quicker. Certain words, I say them longer. One key thing that's going to get you on dates with multi-millionaire men is learning how to speak slower. And I'll tell you why, okay? Psychologically speaking, human beings that take their time with speaking at events, being authoritative, they hold more power and people respect them more because you have to sit and wait for them to finish their sentences. As opposed to someone that is yapping, right? Yap, speaking super fast. You almost don't even understand what they said. And then when you say, can you kindly repeat yourself? They're like, oh, I forgot my words. Learn how to talk slower and learn how to really be intentional with what you say. Don't just say everything that comes off on the top of your head. Because sometimes, even me, I want to ask people what their favorite color is. It's not appropriate. And I don't know why you would want to know that question. Sometimes our brain is a little bit intrusive. Those are not questions you should be asking in these events. The main questions you should ask is what someone does. It's very important. Get men to talk about their careers. Get men to talk about their financial glories and successes. Get men to talk about their interests and hobbies and passions. Get to really know someone by selecting the right type of questions to audition the correct answers for you to make a decision whether or not you wish to see them again, okay? Or whether you wish to potentially go on a date or connect with them again. It's so important. How do you get them to talk about their financial glories? It's super easy. It's really easy. What has been the most successful moment in your life? I would love to know. You seem so interesting. Please share more with me if you can. Really get good at asking people to talk about their achievements. No one wants to talk, especially multi-millionaire men, ladies. No one wants to talk about their downfalls. Nobody does. And a lot of these men, they have a lot of pride. They have a lot of pride and a lot of masculine energy. And what masculine energy wants is it wants the feminine to really tune in and allow the masculine to lead and show off a little bit, okay? Multi-millionaire men want you to know they are successful. This is why they dress a certain type of way. This is why they wear beautiful shoes and beautiful watches. And this is why they have beautiful cars. Why do you think they have that? It's because they want women to see their success. Okay? So as much as a lot of you think, oh, it's rude to ask him what he's doing. No, it's actually rude not to. It's very rude not to ask someone what they're doing. It's very rude to not ask them about their success or achievements, because that shows a disinterest and a lack of education on your part when you want to talk to them about your favorite drink, for example. So really start categorizing your conversations and really get good at having your own hobbies, right? Before I entered this world, I had to change a lot of my hobbies. I had to learn about fine art. And a lot of people will say, fine art is so boring. No, it's not. You will enter a completely different world. We choose to be ignorant by turning our nose up and saying, oh, this person is too snobby or posh. Get to know different things. One of the things I really wanted to study was film and fine art, because I knew those were things I wanted to talk about when I attended events. I'm not someone who loves to talk about politics or religion. It doesn't interest me at all. So I really loved talking about fine art and different artists I like. Okay, and a lot of these wonderful people at these events owned a lot of these paintings. So I found it super, super amusing every time I would say to someone, you know, when they'd ask me, so what are your hobbies? Fine art. Oh, do you know this artist? Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I have a painting. I have 3 paintings actually in my mansion in the south of France. And I always found it so, so fascinating, because when you enter this world, you have to almost understand the hobbies and fun activities high society engages in. And as much as you may think it's boring, it's not. It's actually pushing yourself to educate yourself in a manner you can connect. Right now, where you are in life, you are connecting to a certain group of people that perhaps share similar interests about things you like, okay? But in order to really step up this ladder as you're becoming the best version of you, the most high value version of you, the version of you that is the center of attention in any room she walks into, you need to have a backstory and really understand this world. Really understand that you deserve to be part of this world, but really understand that you need to have some knowledge on what this world is like. Another thing that's really good to talk about at these events is cuisine, okay? If you get really, really, really good at having favorite type of, you know, cuisine, or if you're somebody who does taste testing, or if you're someone who visits a lot of different restaurants and you try, you know, the 16 courses, you have something to talk about, because a lot of these individuals are very much into fine dining, okay? Another thing that's excellent to talk about. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Another thing that's really excellent to really talk about is your traveling experiences, okay? And I don't mean telling somebody you went to Dubai. I don't mean you telling them that, ladies, okay? I mean your traveling culture and experiences of other people's culture, and really understanding and having a good intellectual conversation about this. I need you to really start treating these events and these conversations as an upgrade of who you are intellectually, okay? Because you will be asked a lot of questions, right? And if somebody asks you something that you don't know of, right? This is another trick, another gem. If somebody asks you a question and you have no idea what country they're talking about, what space, what event, what sort of food, instead of telling them, oh my God, I have no idea what you're talking about, I want you to nod and be quiet and say, yes, wonderful. How so? Oh, I've heard. Did you really like that? Oh, I must go again. Stop being an open book and acting like you've never seen half of the things these people talk to you about. You need to start building your confidence. And after these events, I need you to do your research and actually attend these places and get a feel of what it feels like to be part of this world. When it comes to feminine magnetism, what's also very, very, very important is understanding what sort of identity you are operating from at these events. You have to step into your most chosen, most alluring version of you. You have to. That's the only way you're going to win. The women that get overlooked at events, they don't feel like they belong there, okay? They don't feel like they belong there. They feel like it's out their league, and they feel like they don't look right, can't speak right, are not good enough, aren't smart, okay? When you step into a room full with people that make millions, you better feel good about yourself. That's step one. I need you to feel good about you. And I do not care if as a woman you don't have millions to your name. That's not the point. The point is you're educated, you're smart, you're charming, you're charismatic, and you're absolutely magnetic. And that's all you need. You do not need to have millions in order to fit into their world. And charisma is something we're also going to discuss. My personal charisma code, okay? Charisma really separates women who are magnetic versus the ones that aren't. And this is because charisma can't be faked. And I'll tell you why in a minute. The reason charisma cannot be faked is because it's almost become part of somebody's personality trait, meaning it's part of their subconscious identity. But with enough conditioning, with enough rewiring, with enough practice, you can become the most charismatic, confident, magnetic woman in any room you can walk into, irrespective of the types of people that are there. Charisma in itself is very much psychological, meaning if I am charismatic, I ask from a place without refusing or expecting a no. Does that make sense? It's getting really, really, really good at knowing you deserve everything you ask for. It's getting very, very good at having all the right eyes on you. It's getting really, really, really good and confident at asking from a place of least resistance and not expecting a no, okay? The reason charismatic people are top figures, they are actors, they are entrepreneurs, they are extremely, extremely authoritative figures is because they have a way with people. And this is something you really need to master as a woman, because a lot of you think men should have a way with women and other people. Human beings that are clever have a way with all people. You need to become somebody that is very good at influencing others in a room, okay? Energetically. That's how we influence and draw things to us. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you want people to come up to you, right? The one thing you're not going to do is slouch, be in a super like this. Oh, I hate that, ladies, when people do that. The one thing you're not going to do is slouch, be on your phone, or have a wandering eye, really look around you and really be in this desperate energy. One thing you are going to do is have open body language. Open body language, and when you're taking up space physically with your body, I'm going to show you as I speak, right? I am moving my hands. Look how much space I am taking. And irrespective, imagine if there were people around me at this table, I am taking space. I am gesticulating. I am using my voice, and I am really in a really good posture, meaning I am signaling authority, meaning every single person at my table wants to hear what I say. Do you understand? The reason people don't want to hear what you say, the reason no one approaches you, the reason no one compliments you is because you have no idea in how to influence and attract, okay? Eye contact is going to be step number 2. Whenever you want somebody to come up to you, you need to get good at eye contact. I don't want you to do the triangle method, please. Somebody save us. Okay, the worst method in the world. You do this. It looks crazy. Do not do that. I don't know who's taught you that work. No. Eye contact needs to be subtle and natural. You shouldn't look like a serial killer from across the room. Like this. No, we don't do that. Instead, right, I'm going to pretend there's someone in the corner there that I want to approach me. I'm at a multi-millionaire event. Remember, look at what I'm doing with my body language. I'm really taking up space. I'm in a really beautiful posture. I'm breathing nice and relaxed. And there's someone there that I want to come across to me. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at them, really allow our gazes to meet. The moment our gaze meets, I'm going to start doing something with my hair. Very gently. I'm going to continue looking at them. I'm not going to do this. That's what a lot of you do. It's so embarrassing. If you're going to look at somebody, do what you said you were going to do. Hold your gaze. As you hold your gaze, I want you now to pretend you're looking through them. Okay? It's going to make it very, very easy for you to hold eye contact. And what's going to happen when you really hold eye contact with someone longer than 5 seconds, they almost are going to go, oh, is this individual looking at me? It signals openness. It signals I can actually approach you because energetically speaking, through your body language, through your eye contact, you have given me the green pass to approach you. And what this individual, this gentleman is going to do, he's going to smile at you and say hello. And you now are not going to turn around and pretend you didn't look at him. Do not do that. You are going to really very, very gently take a little moment after he says hello. Take a deep breath in and say, hi there. It's really nice to meet you. I absolutely love this event. Now you take the attention away from him and you make it about the event because it's a really good conversation starter. Instead of him saying, well, you know, I saw you across the room and you're the most beautiful. No. What a beautiful event. And he's going to say, yeah, it's such a nice event. And you're going to now say you're going to be confident. So what brings you here? My favorite conversation starter. I love it. It's gotten me so many opportunities. Use it everywhere you go. So what brings you here? And when you say, so what brings you here? I need you to be in this charming energy, not so what brings you here? You're not interrogating them. Really, really nice and feminine and confident. So what brings you here? Almost have a little bit of a smile on your face and allow them to talk and be quiet. That's all you need to do. Be quiet. Be quiet and allow them to talk. What's going to happen is they're going to tell you, oh, I just got back from Geneva on a, first class flight last night. And, one of my friends was doing this event, who's also a millionaire, and I just happened to be here. A lot of multi-millionaire men, they love to pretend that they're in passing distance to these events to impress women, okay? And one thing you're really going to say is, oh, so since you were passing by, it really, really seems like you know a lot of these events. You must have been to so many. How incredible. Every single time you make a statement, give a little bit of a compliment at the end, not towards what he looks like. Remember, his demeanor, his confidence, his masculinity. We don't want to compliment men for what they look like, ever. They should be doing that for feminine, okay? Thank you. We never compliment men based on what they look. It's very needy. Ever. No, I don't. No, you shouldn't compliment men based on how they look, and I'll tell you why. So many women do this, and they're so used to having women tell them, oh, you're wearing such a beautiful watch. What an expensive, beautiful watch. What a beautiful suit. Oh, you are so tall. That's not really an achievement, okay? Somebody's looks are not an achievement, okay? And complimenting somebody's dress sense super early on makes you look a little bit needy. You don't want to do that. You want to, however, compliment his humor. You want to compliment his confidence, and you want to mainly compliment his masculine energy, okay? Because a lot of these men, they will also ask you what your interests are, right? And He's going to say something along the lines, you know, I've had such an incredible evening with you. And when he says that, instead of you saying thank you, that's what a lot of you do. This is really your chance, right? Imagine you have a basketball net to really score. When somebody says it's been wonderful speaking to you, one thing you're going to say is really, you are going to turn it around to their masculinity, and you're going to say, it has been such a beautiful evening because I really got a chance to connect with someone who is so masculine and so funny. It's been absolutely wonderful being here and speaking with you also. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That is going to get you dates. That is going to get people so interested in you. You are going to become the honeycomb. And do you know why? Because most women do not know how to speak like this. They don't have the confidence to ask questions. They don't have the confidence to implement these conversation starters. And they don't know how to end a conversation by making room for him to court you. Okay? You never say thank you. You never just say thank you. Okay, it shuts the conversation. Imagine someone says, oh, well, you are so, so beautiful and you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen and it's been so amazing connecting with you. And you say thank you. That just ends the conversation. And now you have this silence that you are going to try to fill. No. Compliment their masculine energy if they have it. Compliment it. Okay? Compliment, really get good at complimenting. And another thing you want to do is when you get good at complimenting, a lot of these men will take initiative to give to you. Okay. Are you available tomorrow at 6 p.m.? I would love to show you my yacht and take you on a beautiful dinner. And I know what you're all going to do. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. No. Well, you don't play hard to get. You take a moment to think because you just met this person. And that's something so important as part of dating etiquette. When someone presents an offer to you, such as taking you, on their private jet or their yacht or a beautiful dinner or shopping or whatever it is to impress you, you don't jump like a rabbit straight away, like you've never seen this. Instead, you are going to say, that is very, very kind. I like how you are thinking. However, I do need to check my diary because I'm a very, very busy woman. But I will let you know. Allow your energy to hold your authority. The worst mistake you can make is say yes like a desperate little rat. I know you want to be on that yacht. That's why you're here. But you can't act like that. You cannot act desperate, okay? It's really, really, really important. Make sure you follow my Instagram and make sure you DM Chosen because I have the most extraordinary program that's going to teach you tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of gems that I'm dropping in these lives. And that's really the fast track to completely upgrading your love reality and attracting multi-millionaire love. So it's been a pleasure having you. DM on Instagram, make sure to follow me and make sure to turn on your post notifications and I will see you soon. We are back, guys. I really need to show you how pretty it is here. So yes, make sure you inquire on Instagram for my wonderful program. The view is so stunning. We are always at the most beautiful places. So yes, inquire on Instagram, book your discovery call. We have limited spaces, and that's because it's a very exclusive container. So make sure to follow, inquire, and I will see you soon.